Hi, welcome back to the vlog. So today's video is in participation of an event in the month of October that several content creators are taking advantage of, and it's called Stocktober. Basically, what it is just bringing awareness into how you store your food. So on the channel, we do a lot of recipes that are healthy, and we do a lot of recipes that are homemade. But then after you make it, how do you keep it? So, like there's canning, there's vacuum sealing, and then there's also the whole thing of pantry preparedness to have, even if you don't do these things, vacuum seal or can, you can go to your local store and just have a different way of thinking in buying bulk, so that you have stuff that is in your pantry for the immediate 3 to 6 months, but then also for the long term, that could be years. Okay. So what I have started to do in the course of my cooking and stuff that I do, like with the chicken stock video, the chicken stock, the bone broth, the bone broth, you can can it. You can can it in a water bath canner and then preserve it in your pantry. You could do that. But I went the route of freezing it. So in that case, vacuum sealing would be my way of long-term storage to preserve it. Now, I think vacuum sealing is kind of an easier way to get into the process, because canning can be overwhelming and daunting. So what you want to do is, I know you guys have seen the little round vacuum sealer that I use on the jars, and that's for dry goods. That's for, again, when you're stocking up your pantry, you can buy that 5, 10, 25 pound bag of flour, rice, what have you, and then put it in like glass jars and vacuum seal it so it preserves a long time. Like there are things on a list called forever foods, and flour is one of those where you can get it and you don't have to worry about how long to keep it. There are people, if they buy the 25 pound bag, you can also put them in like containers. But that's a different video. Today, we're going to talk about the vacuum sealing. So the vacuum sealing, one way I have already shown you in previous videos to do it in a glass mason jar. That way. That's one way to do it. The other way is with your liquids and your foods. Now, back to the bone broth video. So I showed you the super cubes in those silicone molds. I froze it. So now I have a frozen 1 cup portion of chicken broth. You can do the same thing if you have, like, say you make spaghetti. You have leftover sauce in the jar. You can put it in one of those cubes, freeze it, and then vacuum sealing in this route is the next way. So I purchased this vacuum sealer off of Amazon, 25 bucks. So this is not the Food Saver brand, but it was good reviews. And I'll link it down below. I don't have any affiliation, so I just want you to be able to have access to the best things. What I use, I would recommend. So what you do is you get the bags. Now, this comes with, I think, about 10 pre-sealed bags, but I also bought 2 extra rolls to have. And I've already used almost all the pre-sealed. I'm down to like 1 pre-sealed one that came with the machine. Everything else I've been doing has been off of this. So I've already sealed, as you can see, the bottom here. And it's not very difficult to do. So on here is the seal function. When you lift this up, you want to place it on the line of this bar here, this little beige looking bar here, right? Then you close it on both sides. You want to make sure you have that clamp and the buttons on both sides are poking out, okay? And then you press the seal button. When you press the seal button, it'll light up and it'll go through the sealing process. So what you want to do is cut off a portion, depending on how big the meat is, or whatever your thing is that you're trying to freeze. Seal off the bottom edge. I usually do it twice to make sure that I have a really solid seal. Then I put the item into the bag and seal the top. And I will show you that process. Let me get the chicken broth out of the freezer. All right. So we have the broth here in the cubes. Oh, it's coming out. There we go. Look at that. 1 cup portion. So I am going to slide it in my baggie. Just like so. And then, lift that up. You put this edge into this little well here. And your bag will seal along this brown line right here. So we're going to close that. Make sure I got it in here right. Okay. Close that down. And we're going to hit vacuum seal for this one, because this is what's going to actually close up the package. You see that? It sucked all the air out of it. It preserves it. Now the seal has come on to do the finishing of the package. Okay. So we have both lights that are glowing. And then the seal will start to blink. Then they'll both blink and then cut off. All right, so that's cut off. So this is what it looks like. So now it's preserved. The air is sucked out of it and it's intact until I'm ready to use it. Now, what I like to do is go over it a second time, and I just hit seal by itself just to be sure of, you can tell when the bag hasn't evenly sealed, because there'll be like a gap on the ends or something, and then you'll just have to run it through again. The other thing to be mindful of, so like if you go to the grocery store and you buy just a bulk buy of meat, say like how I did the wild fork meats, and you want to portion those out in little baggies. You want to make sure that you get most of the liquid out of the packet, like separate the meat from as much liquid as you can, because too much liquid in here messes with the machine. It can break it. All right, so I did a double seal, and then there that is. So then I'll just do the next one. And this time I'll show you the process of actually sealing the end of it. So I place that as close to the edge, as I can. All right, then I'll hit seal. So you can dedicate maybe a couple of hours on Saturday, or if Sunday is a day you do your meal prep, you can, whenever you grocery shop, dedicate some time to doing some vacuum sealing. If you do meal prep on a Sunday, and you have meals that you're making for now, you could also do some batches to freeze to have for future use. So then later on a busy week, it's a grab and go. You know what I mean? So you can make this work for you. This can save you some money. It's going to take a while to get into the rhythm of it, the rhythm of it. But eventually, it's good cost saving. That's what the whole thing of Stocktober is. It's just trying to stretch your money, because with inflation, we don't know what tomorrow or a month from now or 6 months from now is going to bring, right? So trying to have the most security food-wise as possible, that's the goal. That's what we're looking for. All right. So we have this sealed. And again, we got it sealed on the end. So I'm going to continue to pop these out and put them in. But that's basically what this video is about, and I really hope you guys took something away from it. Again, I will link this machine and the bags below if you want to take advantage. I know today and tomorrow is Amazon Prime days, so this would be a good time if it's in your budget to, like I said, I bought mine for $25 and it wasn't with the Prime, so hopefully you guys can get a good deal. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.